Hey guys, here is mask for Zach Sawchenko of the Vancouver Canucks. Talk about some of the details in this one. So I have worked with Zach for a few masks now, and if you kind of know them, he has kind of a bit of a style he likes to kind of keep with the design, and it's mostly just kind of something separating kind of two worlds, and on one side and the other side of the mask, and usually kind of logo based on one side, and then some kind of fun scene on the other. So how he usually kind of reaches out to me is, again, as I work with these guys kind of for multiple years, they kind of definitely give me a bit more trust and a bit more just see what I can come up with kind of deal. Which is awesome as an artist. It's, kind of the luckiest thing you can stumble into. So what he gave me was, just something Orca based, maybe a cool Orca scene, just something to kind of incorporate the Orca logo into maybe a real Orca kind of look. So after that, I just kind of went with it. I knew his style of his look he wanted to have. So I just ran with it, and he seemed super stoked on the design, and I was stoked as well. So what I did to kind of start with the design was base it off the logo. So the Vancouver Canucks logo has this kind of sea breaking out of a Haida Orca whale coming out, and it almost looks like kind of ice chunks. So that's where I started with these kind of ice block chunks that are kind of coming off the bottom when the logo looks like it's coming through it, and then the logo has that look, and then in the background there's kind of an orca in the back kind of jumping out of the water, subtle in the back on the top, with maybe some ice chunks. So it kind of has like a 3-layer kind of ice chunk kind of look, and it's I don't know, it just adds a bit of movement. That's what I'm always trying to find, ways to add a little movement and a little depth in there so we can kind of get that kind of neat 3D look to it, and I think it achieved it pretty well on that side for sure. And then on the other side, he asked for kind of an Orca scene on the other side, and it was really fun. I came up with kind of an Orca jumping out of the water with all the kind of spraying water coming off, and a bit more of like a West Coasty looking background with the high spruce trees, and then the ocean in the background with more orcas kind of swimming in the back. Just kind of a look, if you've ever been to Vancouver, it kind of looks like those coves all over kind of the coast. It looks, very similar to this. So it's kind of the look I was achieving for. And I put in the ice, kind of a couple more ice blocks kind of chunking out there. And then I added kind of my tattoo kind of flair to that style. I think it works. It just, again, adds movement. And I don't know, it just gives it kind of a West Coasty kind of vibe. I don't know, I like to incorporate this because I think it's a cool element with the tattoo style, just the Japanese kind of traditional waves, and it just reminds me of the West Coast tattoo scene as well, kind of John the Dutchman kind of vibe to it. I actually think there's a piece of art that was done at the Dutchman with an orca whale and finger waves. I'm not sure who did it, but I think it was kind of a subtle inspiration that I maybe stole from. So just for me, it kind of gives it a Vancouver vibe. I'm pretty stoked on how that side turned out. And then his nickname on the chin that he always gets, and then just kind of a really nice stripe along the top with the kind of the V, Johnny Canuck V on the top. And if you think it kind of looks like Nick the goalie's mask on the top, it's because I kind of inspired myself from Nick the goalie's mask. So I know Nick, I don't think he's going to be too offended, but I really like that look of that stripe on Nick's. So it's a little wider, and it's a little different, a little less subtle than his, but definitely some inspiration there. So I think Nick will appreciate that. And then on the back, just he always gets a Canada flag on the back, and he gets his believe, and then we actually just threw in, we sometimes put his number, but he didn't know for sure what his number was going to be this year, so we just did a Johnny Canuck on there because that's such a cool logo too. And then all these scratches kind of almost gives it an ice look that kind of ties in with the ice chunks. And overall, just I really like these layouts that Zach kind of asks for, just this style of the stripe and and this on one side and the logo on the other. It's just really kind of classy looking, and I think it turned out really cool. I am very stoked on this one, excited to show this one off, and excited for Zach and seeing this year with the Vancouver Canucks. So thanks, Zach, for another amazing project.